Hello. So just got my new place and I'm so excited to start a new food forest. Come check this out. All right, hopefully it's not too windy. It is a little bit windy. But yeah, this is from the front. I have all this space, just put in some gooseberries here. But as you can see, it needs a lot of love. Hasn't been really taken care of very well. So I've been seeding a mixture of clover seed and tall fescue and some other stuff around here. Mostly just weeds so far. Some raspberries over here, some blackberries and things against the house. And this is probably really windy. I might just voice over this if it's too windy, because that's probably going to be really distracting if it's really loud. A bunch of apple trees over here. I think they're crab apples in there. A whole bunch of space though. It's about an acre. Gravel driveway. We have strawberries in here. More strawberries in here. That's pretty much it for the stuff that we put in. A few other things actually, I'll show those. But something that I love, besides these awesome humongous trees, and they kind of scare me a little bit, but they're pretty amazing. Got a lot of these riparian grapes. So these river grapes just kind of pop up everywhere, and I think it's because the birds poop the seeds, and then they just pop up all over the place. So I'm gonna try working with some of the quote-unquote native grape species, as well as Concords. My favorite is Concord, just because I grew up with Concord grape juice, and so just love that flavor. Over here, a bunch more some apple trees. And these just barely bloomed recently, so they're still growing. I'm not sure exactly what kind of apples they are, but I think I'll have an idea of what type they are as the season progresses. So a couple apple trees. This one's a crab apple, which is good if you're trying to pollinate apple trees. These produce a lot of pollen and attract a lot of bees, just because they have such a high fruit load. Because well, I don't know if I call it a high fruit load. They have a lot of fruits because they're crab apples, and the fruit mass is so small. I think that causes them to have more flowers. I'm not sure. I've just had people tell me that crab apple trees are good for having some diversity to pollinate apple trees. More riparian grapes. I just cleaned this area up because it was pretty overgrown, kind of like that. It's amazing how fast it cleans up with a mower. So lots of grapes coming up here. One of my neighbors is having fun with a dirt bike zipping around the neighborhood. And there's lots of these little strawberries, little baby. These are like wild strawberries. I've tried a few of them. They don't really have that much flavor. These things are tiny. I mean, they don't taste bad. They just don't have very much flavor. Like a very small amount of strawberry flavor. Like you can tell by the taste that they're strawberries. It's just a very subtle strawberry flavor, not like the strawberries that you're used to in the store. The base of this, another crab apple tree. Got a bunch of these honeysuckles. I remember when I was a kid, I used to have a honeysuckle vine, and I'd always pick off the little flowers and, pull the flowers apart and get out the nectar. So a lot of space in here. Still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Probably along the perimeter. I'm thinking of doing like blackberries or something, just to create a barrier. I've bought a number of ARC 45s, which are a thorn variety. And I believe having that cover a trellis would actually make for a pretty good barrier. Discourage, people from trespassing just because it's thorny blackberries. I might do some thorny blackberries over here. This is kind of cool. You might recognize these. This is all onions, wild onions. Looks kind of like garlic chives. I'm not exactly sure which species of onion it is, but yeah, it tastes like onions if you break a piece off. So a lot of potential in here. I'm thinking about doing a whole bunch of currants in here. We'll see. Currants or blackberries. Little blackberry plant here. A lot of these little native strawberries. Can't wait for these to grow up. All right, so this is how my yard looks from this corner. And as you can see here, I have some melon plants popping up. A friend gave this to me. Some grapevines, some Concord grapes here. They're still growing. Yeah, this is what it looks like across my yard from here. About an acre. These trees are amazing. I think that's some type of maple. Still getting familiarized with the Missouri plants and trees. I think that one's called the Tree of Paradise or something. Pops up suckers everywhere. So I might have to do something about that. So yeah, lots of stuff here I just planted. So I'm hoping in the next year or so, next few years I should say, I'll have some mature grapevines over there. Thinking about putting strawberries here. I haven't really decided. Lots of space for plants here. Probably do plants all around the perimeter. I love blackberries and marionberries and boysenberries and all types of berries, so I'll probably have a variety of those just for the kids to come out and pick berries. In here I might add some nut trees. I was thinking about putting like some walnut or pecan, maybe some pear trees. Yeah, this thing's huge. Look how big these branches are. I'm thinking about getting like a pole saw or something and trimming some of these longer ones just so when the wind blows they don't make me so nervous. And I made a planter there. Yeah, there's a little bit of a, I don't even know what to call that. Just a ton of overgrowth. I was gonna get the mower in here, but there's like a lot of chunks of cement. I don't know who dumped them there. And then this entire edge looks like it'd be perfect for raspberries, maybe. I'm thinking about getting some pawpaw. I think pawpaw plants would do really well in here. They like to start off with shade, and then they like to emerge out of the shade when they get more mature. So I think that might be a good area to acclimate some pawpaw. Just need to get some seeds, or maybe some seedlings. I've heard they have a big tap root, so they're not necessarily the best thing to transplant because you usually lose the tap root and then it messes up the tree. Here's our trampoline. The kids love this thing. Lots of perimeter here. Thinking about putting something, I mean, there's a lot of grass here to mow, so I'm thinking about putting clover down or maybe some dichondra. Maybe even some rows of grapevines. Still thinking about it. It gets a lot of sun here. This corner over here gets like probably 10 hours of sun, unlike that canopy area over here. So probably going to put some type of little mini vineyard back here or something maybe. These trees are so beautiful. Look at those. That canopy. Oh, and you've got to see this particular tree. This really tall one right here. I can't remember what it's called, but it has these really pretty flowers. I've never seen flowers this big on a tree before. Let's see if I can find a good looking one. They rot pretty quick. And look at that. Get the camera to focus. This thing's covered with these beautiful flowers. Just love it. Just can't get over how beautiful Missouri is. The craziest thing about Missouri, though, if you see this huge yard and you're wondering, oh, how much water does it take to let that stuff grow? I don't even have a sprinkler system. There's no irrigation system whatsoever. it rains like 2 or 3 times a week, and that keeps everything super green. The soil's amazing. You should see the soil aggregate. I'll show that in another video, but it's just nothing I've ever seen before. Like in Arizona, you know, you might have 1/8 of an inch of nice black soil, but here I dug down 2 or 3 feet and it's all just that amazingly beautiful soil. That's just the way it is. And it might also help that the water table is only about 20 feet deep, so the ground stays pretty moist. Hate that word. So that's what it looks like from this corner here. Some more apple trees, crab apple. I think I mentioned these in the beginning of the video, I can't remember. And again, this is my first season, so I'm not exactly sure what kind of apple trees these are. Just judging by the leaves, I think crab apples have these types of leaves, and I see fruit forming that doesn't seem to be growing very fast. So my guess is it's crab apple, and I'm okay with that. I'd rather them be something else, so I might, you know, cut down 1 or 2 of these. If all 6 of these happen to be crab apple, I'll probably remove a couple and put in some other type of apple, like maybe Granny Smith. I love Granny Smith apples and Gala apples. And crab apples are amazing for producing tons of pollen to make sure that your surrounding apple trees do get pollinated. Thinking about putting a tree house in one of these trees. I'm not sure. It's probably not very safe, but I just have so many good memories as a kid of having a tree house and just hanging out with my friends, just doing nothing. Back before the days when we started wasting so much time with social media. I say that as I'm making a YouTube video. That's super ironic. Forgive me. Just love this yard though. I mean, I just love walking around. I spent the entire day just enjoying the beauty. A branch fell off right here. I'm not sure what type of tree this is. It's fun to be able to just learn more about temperate plants. I know a lot about tropicals and desert plants and a lot of the things that I grew in Arizona, but a lot of temperate plants here. So it's going to be a lot of fun to get to know those and turn this entire thing into a food forest. I'm going to put lots of berry bushes all up front here. It's going to be gorgeous. Thanks for watching.